Capitalization is an important topic of long-term assets. Let's review a couple of examples beforehand. If a long-term asset is used in the business operations, we add it to property, plant, or equipment or intangible assets categories. On the other hand, if long-term assets are not used in daily operations, we call them investments. Yeah, they're not used in the daily operations, we call them investments. Now, capitalization as a definition, is the process by which a long-term asset is recorded on the balance sheet, and its allocated costs are expensed on the income statement over the asset's economic life. Now, I understand that this definition is quite mouthful, but this is basically what we're dealing with. Whether we're going to record the capitalization on the balance sheet as part of the long-term asset, or we're going to allocate the cost of it as expenses on the income statement. Yeah, so it's either capitalized or expense. Yeah, capitalization or expenditure. Now, how cost is treated on the financial statement? By cost, we mean any cost associated with specific asset, long-term asset. If the cost is expensed, it is added to the income statement. That's clear because all of the expenses are where they are all in the expenses are in the income statement, and therefore if expensed, it's going to be added to the income statement and deducted from the revenue logically. If the cost, on the other hand, is capitalized, it's added to the balance sheet under the asset category as part of that asset. Here's something to note is about repairs and maintenance costs of the property, plant, and equipment. Long-term assets can have some kind of additional costs associated with them over time, and these costs are either capitalized or expensed. Major improvements are capitalized. So again, the key word is the major improvements. Usual repairs, on the other hand, are expensed. This is a very simple thing to know, but it will be very useful and helpful for the next practice exercise that we have. Let's review this practice example and try to understand what we're specifically talking about. Yeah, so classify the expenditure as either capitalized, let me just change the colors on the go, the capitalized, or expensed. Yeah, so it's either capitalization or expense. Yeah. And note which assets are property, plant, and equipment on the bottom here. Yeah, so let's look at the expenditures that we have incurred and whether the expenditures are right here. Yeah, so just a second. The expenditures that I'm talking about are right here. Yeah, so let's review them. First of all, we have a normal repair and maintenance on the manufacturing facility. Now, normal repair and maintenance, that is something that we tend to just expense. We record it as part of the expenses under the income statement right here. Yeah. The second one is cost of taxes on new equipment used in business operations. These are usually capitalized and added as part of the cost of the asset in the balance sheet. The cost of the taxes on this new equipment is usually added to the balance sheet and is capitalized. The next one is shipping cost on new equipment used in business operations. The shipping cost on new equipment, we've talked about it previously when we said, for example, in the merchandising transactions, when we would add the shipping cost when we purchased an item or an inventory as part of that inventory, right? So this is a very similar logic. So the shipping cost on the new equipment is going to be added to the balance sheet. It's going to be capitalized. Cost of minor repairs on existing equipment used in business. So cost of a minor repair is the minor repair is quite a key word here. It's a minor repair, so this is usually expensed and deducted from the revenue as we go. And lastly, we're looking at the assets, and we need to note which are property, plant, and equipment. So in our list, we see the first one, which has land next to the production facility, held for use next year as a place to build a warehouse. So this is a property, plant, and equipment. Land held for future resale when the value increases, that is not the property, plant, and equipment. It will be probably mostly the investment. Yeah, investment. Equipment used in the production process, that is going to be property, plant, and equipment.